belly for like 5 days as well, the cunt.
I'd pay good money to see that. I would.
Honestly, we were just sat there, we'd had a few drinks, and Dan's like, I don't know what got it started. I don't know what got it started. I went to slap Dan's stomach, right, Rob, and I proper missed. I palmed him. I
tell you what.
With bottom of my palm.
Me like that, you won't be waking up from your tent next morning.
No.
And if you did wake up, it'd be on fire.
The thing was, though, Rob, it was an agreed slap.
No, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. It was an agreed slap. I took it like a champ.
I think it was Fury who started it.
Yeah.
I'd more likely agree to you punching me in the ribs, so I just kind of.
Yeah, no, I agreed to Dan. I let Dan slap me.
I can't join you.
Yeah, I thought I took it really well. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't cry.
Mate.
Someone kept saying I kept crying, but I didn't cry. No, I didn't really have tears in my eyes. Like, it was a good slap. It was a good hard slap that fucking bruised me and it left his hand there for about a week. But I took it like a fucking champ. It just stung. Oh, mate, he left a massive
slap if his hand came off. How hard hit him?
You'd have been able to take his DNA from the fucking bruise, Rob. I'm telling you now. Imprinted that much.
DNA or fingerprints?
Yeah, fingerprints, should I say? Both. Left a bit of top layer of skin there. Right, and on that note, I'm going into the party for commentary, so I shall speak to you all later. Take care. Goodbye,
Bye.
Dan, you penis.
Fuck you.
He's gone.
Dan's a penis, Tony's a cunt, Rob's a short arse, Bryn's just fucking ginger.
Fuck off.
See you in a bit.
And then OCMR.
Jamie, pass me the switch. And that laptop.
Not put it on the floor.
Motorsport.
Drop it on the floor.
Well, don't just leave it on the floor then. Move it. Put it somewhere out of the way. It wasn't. It's not been on that table all week.
Yes, it has. So I was doing it the other day.
Well, I didn't even move this on the floor. You did. Because you took it off hard so you could clean this table down.
I didn't clean that table down.
You did? Because my notepad won't windowsill.
I see Emo's back on his normal account now.
Yeah, he's managed to get it sorted, he said.
What? Did he forget his passwords?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I think he must have. Right. I'm just keeping an eye on these highlights on my end. We've just gone into race. I don't know where we are actually on the highlights. They must have replayed again. Fuck knows, they can't have replayed. How long's the AM highlights? Have I pressed it too early?
Probably. Well, it's nearly
I thought the AM highlights was about 10 minutes long nearly. 8 minutes long. No, that's AM Spa highlights. Why have I uploaded fucking wrong highlights here? Oh, I don't fucking know what I've done. Well, fuck it.
I press buttons.
On the stream, it's got AM fucking 29 minutes left in the race.
Yeah.
Now we're down to 19 minutes in the race. So I shall tell you when we're close to the end. And then we can go.
Yeah, then we get my fucks out first. Fuck.
Yep.
Fuck.
Cock shit, wank tit bollocks.
Cut.
That's how I start. That's how I start every race on these stream now. It's not really.
Fuck. Fuck! No, that's me crashing out of third place with a shit teammate. Oh, fiddly dee, that requires a tetanus shot. Not going to swear. Not a bad turnout, 15.
Yeah, 16 because Leon's down as tentative. I've just tagged him in a thing saying, "Are you racing?" If not, I need, let me know so I can update the grid.
Yeah, but either way, 15's not a bad turnout for me.
No.
I'll be racing with this lot next season because I can't do Wednesdays. And I'm nowhere near quick enough for pro. I would just be a mobile chicane. I'd be worse than a Syntac or a Pacific Formula 1 car, or 40 or the Lola in 97. Slow. And Osella. Andrea Moda.
Race is just coming to an end. Table 1, last 7 seconds. When I say table 3, we'll be quiet because then it'll just be the thumbnail and we'll be live. Table 2. Table 3. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SimPlay Motorsport here for the Pro-Am session. The Pro-Am, the Am session. It is a fantastic night. We've got 15 drivers on the grid and we've got 2 new faces who have been here for the whole part of this season but have been away on holidays, and they finally get to make their first race start tonight, and it should be absolutely fantastic to see them out there on the circuit. I'm your host, Matthew Duffin, joined in the commentary box by my partner in crime, I suppose, for this amateur season. It's PN Motorsport. PN, very good evening to yourself. How are you?
Good evening, Matt. I guess I'm okay. It's lovely raining up here in Suffolk.
Yeah.
Technically I'm in Suffolk, and it's great. I love the rain. It saves me water in the garden.
Miserable here as well, so you're not the only one with miserable weather. But we're at Zolder. We're back at Belgium. Obviously, 2 weeks ago we was here for Spa. We're back at Zolder in Belgium, and it's great to be back here. Obviously, we've seen great racing over the years at Zolder. Project Cars, we saw Smithy take his first ever sim race win last year in the Pro Series. Myself, De Silva and Dan with a fantastic race and fantastic pit stops.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of Zolder, I'll be honest.
No?
No. Well, it's a circuit that killed Gilles Villeneuve.
Well, yeah, this is true. Is that though as a spectator or as a fan?
Driver. As a driver.
Yeah. So, but from a spectator point of view, do we enjoy the circuit? You think it's a good layout? Enjoy the track?
Nah, I think it's a bit flat actually. It's probably flatter than Snetterton.
Well, either way, we are here. And speaking of Snetterton and Silverstone, make sure you join us a week on Sunday, the 16th of July, for the Porsche Cup, in which myself and PN and I believe a fellow Welsh colleague Ivor should be bringing you the commentary for that one. So it should be 3 of us in the box to bring you the commentary for the Porsche Cup. 20-car grid in that one, so make sure you tune in and see the Porsche Cup guys go round the circuit. That should be absolutely brilliant. But we're here in Zolder for round 4 of this season, and what a season it has been so far. We've had thrills and spills at this amateur league at the moment. We are potentially expecting 16 drivers, awaiting Leon Fernie, who was down as tentative, so isn't tentative on the Discord. Basically is he's unsure if he can make it, but he is going to try. So 15 confirmed, Leon tentative, so we'd love to see Leon in, because it'd just be 16 cars on the grid, be a fantastic grid size. Either way, PN, I think this is the biggest grid we've had so far for AM this season, and it proves to be fantastic for tonight's racing.
I think we made the right move, switching to a set of horse, a competizione. When you say it, you have to do the hand gesture.
Yeah, you've got to make it Italian. Right, PN, talk us through a little bit about this circuit. I've just got to reply to an email very quickly. Just talk us through a little bit about this circuit.
Took over the hosting of the Belgian Grand Prix, as well as Nivelle, after they stopped racing at Spa, which is probably going to happen again, because what happened at the weekend before the Spa 24 hours, unfortunately. It's also a circuit where one of the greatest drivers never to win a world title lost his life on, Gilles Villeneuve. Also happened to be a Ferrari driver. even though he made his debut in McLaren. Unknown fact there.
Oh, there we go. Then.
And since then, it's just hosted international GTs. I can't actually tell you. I'm not the Oracle. I haven't got the book.
Before we do get started, though, tonight, as PM touched on there, we have got to obviously wish our condolences to the family of Delano, I believe is how you pronounce his name, who lost his life at Spa on Saturday or Sunday. I think it was Saturday, wasn't it? It was the Saturday he lost his life. Had a big crash at the top of Radion going down the Kemmel Straight, and he sadly lost his life in a regional Formula 3 car. In really conditions that I don't think the motorsport should have got underway. It was a shame to lose his life. And as well, obviously, if you're touring car fans out there, we lost the life of an absolute legend of touring cars on Sunday in Steve Neal. And I myself been a big follower of his son Matt Neal out through his career. So Steve Neal obviously was always heavily involved in his career and everything that Team Dynamics did. And sad to lose such a young man in his racing career, and obviously a legend in Steve Neal. 80 years old, I think, as well. So, yeah, very sad weekend for motorsport, PM.
Indeed, and whatever else happened on motorsport we don't see.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's a dangerous game at the end of the day. And can't change it. You can make the
no, you can't change it. This is the thing, though, isn't it? We had wet conditions and, you know, the Sport 24 Hour followed that race, and the GT cars are fine. They don't produce as much spray as other cars. They've got window wipers to clear the spray from their windscreens. Open wheel cars, it's a different ballgame.
But they're going to have to look at something like putting a guard on the wheels, aren't they? Just turn them into caterhams. It'll all be load of caterhams, but like single seaters.
Yeah. It's something they've got to look into, isn't it? And we'll see, obviously, what happens as the future goes on. Right, though, enough about what happened at the weekend. Let's talk about tonight, because we've got a fantastic championship opening up here. Let's first of all go through the most pointless championship standings at SimPlay Motorsport. That is the Manufacturers' Championship standings. Although there's more Ferraris out there tonight than there is McLaren, so that's nice to see. But it's McLaren who are 299 points clear of Bentley in the Manufacturers' table. They are 201 points clear of Ferrari, who have got a good 37-point gap back to Aston Martin. Audi are 2 points behind Aston Martin. Audi are also tied with Honda on 261 points. Porsche are on 242, and there's a couple of Porsches out there tonight to score points for them. Lexus on 214 with BMW 65. Mercedes on 60. Nissan on 25, and Lamborghini bringing up the rear on 13. Jaguar and Reti are yet to appear on the grid. In terms, though, of the Drivers' Championship, 175 points up for grabs. And if you're thinking, Matt, that seems a little short for the championship points on offer, that's because there's only one race here in the Amateur League. It's Jay who leads the way. The man currently fifth fastest on the circuit leads leads the way in his Ferrari for the Flying Potatoes team. 10 points clear of Future Revenge, who's a bit off the pace in his Bentley. He's second place. Danlick had a big penalty due to pit lane infringements excuse me, last time out, and today picks up a 3-place grid penalty due to penalty points received in his name. So he is on a 3-place grid penalty in the reverse grid order. He's currently third in the championship. Ginger Bush, what a season he's having. He missed 1 week. He's currently 17 points off. He's tied for third at the moment with Danlick. Before it's Ant who sits in P4. John Andrews having a good season at the moment. Always seems to be involved in incidents, but is picking up points where he needs to. He is sitting in P6, just ahead of this man, Baraba, who is up there in the standings. P8, KLF, after a 30-second time penalty, dropped him off the podium last week. He's down in 9th place. With Emo Guy, your last week's winner, he's finally got his actual PSN back up. He is sitting in P7 in his Nissan. And I forgot about the hairpin corner at this track. The cameraman decides to not follow the cars through it. Sharkbait, not here tonight. He's P11, with Leon Fernie also hopefully getting him in the next 30 minutes. If not, it's one of them. He's down on 14 points. Shoemaker, then. Internet disruptions over last weekend. He's currently one of the quickest guys on the circuit at the moment. He is down in P13 looking to score points. Oh, as we're calling him, comes back out on track. He is on 10 points as well. Hitman is not the Hitman in the Pro. Hitman, different guy, different driver. He's there on 15 points before NTS on 16. Ben Bath and Checo Bress on 0. But we get to see Ben Bath in his McLaren. Yay, love that, PM. And Checo Bress in his Porsche as well coming through. A nice chrome Porsche as well on the grid. So that's a nice little livery there for the Porsche, that actually.
Yeah, it's nice to actually see someone not run a McLaren. Unless it's a 650S. Run a 650S. Be
Yes,
different.
someone please. That'd be quite cool actually to see the 650S being used.
I can imagine when we do this on PS5, Ferraris, we're going to have the 488 normal, 488.
No, you're not.
Evo.
No, you're not. No one's going to run the 488 anymore. They're all going to run the 296. Or the Lamborghini Evo 2, or the Porsche 992, or probably the BMW M4 is still a car that is used quite a bit. But it's nice to see that there will be different cars obviously used on that sort of evening.
And the BMW M4. Let's not forget the M4.
M4's a lovely car, beautiful car, really is. Really is a nice car. But we're here though. It's AM night, 15 drivers on the grid. It's going to be a good night of racing, PN, isn't it?
It is. Let's see how many people hop over the curve at first chicane and fly to the moon.
Yeah, it's
For
going
more,
to be
got flying to the moon up on the curve here. Last season, my then teammate, Daz Automatic, through turn 1 went to the moon.
broke his car, if you remember, as well, because he had to pit and he couldn't move his car, if you remember rightly, so he had to come back out, and yeah, that was an interesting one to see. If you want to see Flying to the Moon, make sure you've checked out the Catalunya highlights from Pro-Am from last week. Dean Wysocki had a trip to the moon in Pro-Am last season. If you don't know what I'm on about, go and check out the Pro highlights, because they was fantastic to do and fantastic to go through. And yeah, Dean Wysocki absolutely took off in that car, and it was funny to sort of edit and see the highlights taking place there over what Dean actually did to go over that curve. And it was funny because as I was editing the highlights, I was speaking to Bryn, who was behind him, and he says, I remember that. Surprised he stayed on all four wheels. Well, so are we, in all fairness. He took off a little bit. Like I say, if you want to watch that, make sure you go over to SimPlay Motorsport. Check out the highlights from Pro-Am last week in what was a fantastic race at Catalunya. And Zolder's going to provide an interesting battle. I know, obviously, you don't like Zolder at the moment, PN. It's not your favourite
I've had
circuit.
2 circuits I've had don't like in a row.
But it always seems to produce good racing, though.
It has, especially on Project Cars 2 when Smithy won in a wet around here.
Yeah, exactly. I will be... let's say good evening to our chat. Evening to Micro J's in the chat. Benedict Varga, Pro-Am commentator, will be joining me live tomorrow night from 8 PM UK time. Fury's Grandad, good evening to you. Daz Automatic, DJ Phil, hi Met PN. Go KLF for the win, he says. Sooty, I'll fly over it tomorrow, 100%. If you can guarantee on somebody to fly over a sausage curb, other than Dean Wysocki, it probably is Sooty Apex. Float over it in that old bus, Sooty says Daz. And DJ Phil in the chat, there is a song to the moon and back. He says, being a radio DJ, DJ Phil should know all about the music.
Yeah, we can't play it on stream because DMCA.
Yeah, because, you know, YouTube. Either way, speaking of YouTube, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button as well and the bell to be notified when we are live. We are 50 subscribers away from reaching the milestone of 500, and that means so much to us as a channel, but not just us as a channel, but to us personally as well, who put a lot of time and effort in. And obviously PN's new to the admins this year, and he I think for PN now understands how much work actually goes into being an admin and running this channel for you guys, not just to watch, but for these fantastic drivers out there on the track. PN, we've got 8.5 minutes left of this practice session. I'm gonna need to pick your brain. Who is going to be the race winner?
I want to go with Shoemaker. He's not pace, and let's just hope his Wi-Fi holds out.
Yeah, let's hope it does as well. We are going to put Shoemaker down. Just to be different, I'm going to go Tech Leader. Just to be different. But I'm also going to put down the Ginger Bush. And you know what? Seeing as we've not seen him yet, Ben Bath is going on that list. So there are 4 who you think will win. If you disagree with that, comment in the chat who you think is going to win this race.
Well, we all already know DJ Phil put KLF.
Yes, we already know that one. That's it. That was a given. Right. Excuse me.
As Matt goes, I have a persistent cough fit, which he's had for a good while now.
Yeah, I've had for about a month, and it's getting on my nerves a little bit. Now, right, Not heard from Leon Fernie, so we're going to remove Leon Fernie from the grid. He obviously cannot make it, which is a shame. But that will promote other drivers on the grid then. So your grid will look as follows. In P1 will be Checo Bress, obviously not done a race yet this season. In P2, it will be Ben Bath, who's as well not done a race this season. P3 will be Hitman. P4 will be that of Shoemaker. P5 will then be Emo Guy. P6 will be KLF. P7 will be Tech Leader. P8 will be Baraba. John Andrews will be P9 with Ant P10. P11 will be Ginger Bush. P12 Future Revenge. P13 will be Jay. P14 will be Danlick. And P15 will be O on this grid then tonight. So if Leon Fernie gets in now, that'll obviously go back. But I don't think he's getting in at this rate with 6 minutes left.
He's online and Discord. He's got a green dot beside him and Discord.
I have messaged him. But nothing yet. So
he
either
needs
way.
to make a race start, if not.
Oh, he made last week, didn't he? He was here last week.
Yeah, that's true.
He was with us last week, so yeah, hopefully he's able to get on. I know he did say when he signed up to the season that he was one of the drivers that got demoted from Man when he, wasn't relegated effectively, because he said he works a lot in the week. It may not mean he can make every race, so therefore, while AM isn't full, he's already warned us about work as an admin here at SimPlay Motorsport. I don't mind that because it means that, look, he's got his commitments of work, and that's fine. You can't help work. Bring back top scores, Mike Matthews. But that's just the way it is. He's told us about work. It's not like he's not turning up because of certain things, because he's just not telling us. It's, with other people, Jamie Brazier, it's, because of actual reasons that he's not, turning up. And he's made this clear to the admins, and we've obviously allowed him and said that is fine. So 15 drivers on the grid. It's going to be a fascinating one to see as the night goes through then tonight, and who will do what. This is the biggest question here, because on a track that it's got a lot of straights to be quick on, it's built for a car that can send it into corners, because around here it's a difficult one to get right, isn't it, Pierre? You don't want to send it. You send it too much, you go deep or wide. You don't send it enough, there's possibly contact made. You've got to be right. You've got to have a lot of trust in the person you're overtaking.
Yeah, you have indeed. It's narrow. The walls are actually quite close. Still a bit of grass for those Hondas.
Those Hondas that are actually doing quite well. That's the point. Any stats this weekend? Right. There is a stat, and it will count for this week if something happens today. Argent's one podium away from his 50th. That's not matter today. Gary's one pole position for 25. That won't happen. Honda need 3 podiums for 50. That doesn't matter today. There's no Hondas. Tibbs will make his 50th race starting race 1 tomorrow. I myself need 2 podiums for my 100th. That'll possibly be Thursday night. Honda need 1 race for its 250th start. But this is the big one, PN. McLaren is 5 wins away from its 50th race win, which mathematically this week is possible. But if it doesn't win tonight, then it'll obviously go over to next week.
But have you seen Ripper's pace in the Audi?
Yeah, have you seen Ripper's pace in the Audi? But De Silva's still a quick guy, and round here De Silva last season was very quick. Shoemaker, though, could make this McLaren win happen. Look at his pace at the moment. He is absolutely flying out there.
Well, he would be. He's sitting in the pits at the moment.
There's one thing about this, PN. We see people in Pro and Pro-Am, when they test, sort of run low-fuel quali laps. For these amateur drivers, they don't really need to worry about qualifying at all. At least with Pro-Am, they've got 1 qualifying session they have to worry about and have to concentrate on later in the afternoon. Later in the evening, should I say. But for amateur, they don't have a single qualifying lap. So for these drivers, it's surely about testing that race pace and getting them lap times in. If we look at the timetable here, you could tell in an hour and 20 minutes at 1.5 minutes a lap. So it's 3 minutes every 2 laps. You look at the likes of Hitman, he's done 25 laps. Oh, he's done 29. Ant's done 24. You see the guys who's got lap times in. John Andrews, for example, 30 laps he's done in this hour 20 minutes. So just proves to show that we aren't going to see anywhere near the 30 laps today. So if we get 15 laps in, we're going to get a 45-minute race. So if we get 20-odd laps, it just goes to show that the race pace and the racecraft and getting them consistent lap times in amateur is so more important than fast pace.
I never run quality fuel anyway, even when I do qualify. I always go for the race. It's the race where you score the points, not qualifying.
100% is. So we'll see what happens throughout this race, but it's great to have 15 of the 18 cars on the grid.
Ginger Bush taking all the curb on.
Yeah, just watching that as he came in there, as we change to Jay at the moment. What's the Nissan going to do? Emo Guy doesn't look like he's got a lot of pace around here, does he? And he's changed his livery there. He's made it look less like a can of Iron Brew, I've noticed this week.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder why. But what's the Nissan got to do? Because it's 1.2 off the pace at the moment. But again, we don't know if Tech Leader and Shoemaker's done low fuel runs or high fuel runs. What's he got to do today to make sure that his racecraft and race pace is there?
You can't count Emo Guy out, can you? He
knows
the game. He knows the game really well, both on PlayStation and PC. So he's probably just doing what Mercedes and Red Bull used to do in Formula 1. Put the sandbags in.
Chuck the sandbags in, see what happens in the race.
Yeah, and just sort of hide your pace, and then, or well, like some teams that have BOP in their classes, like they go slower, so they get the BOP change to slow down the other competition.
Yeah, indeed.
Toyota! Oh, did I say that out loud?
Well, we'll see what Emo Guy can do. 45 seconds left. I don't think he's going to get another lap in, so let's watch him as he comes to the line here then. He's going to be towards the back end of the lap. And it's going to be interesting to see what he can do, because he's a man who's currently going to be on an absolute mission at the moment.
Let's see what he sets as he crosses. No improvement. He's probably on a dirty lap.
Yeah, no improvement either on a dirty lap or just looking at his race pace. He's hitting consistent lap times. Car 13, Hitman. Emo Guy did get another lap in. Hitman will not, though. 14 seconds from back here, so we'll keep our eyes on Hitman then. And we'll see what he can do, but I don't think he's going to do a lot from here as the session now finishes. And we are shortly about to go racing PM Motorsport in this absolute fantastic setting here in Am. Green Wolfenator, hello, good luck to the drivers. Who's Wolfenator? Let's speak a bit about Wolfenator. Obviously, I commentated on him a lot in Pro-Am last season. You and Dan obviously broadcast up what Wolfenator does in Pro this year. He's having a fantastic season in Pro, isn't he, Wolfenator?
He is indeed, and you can definitely see his McLaren on the track.
Bright green, yeah, indeed you can.
Yeah, he's not too bad, Seamus and McLaren.
As drivers now start to cross the line, Jay crosses it, finishes P5 in practice. Hitman finishes in P9. There's another car coming to the line. That is car 83 of Checo Perez in his nice chrome Porsche. Actually, he's also across the final chicane. As the cameraman picks up Emo Guy now. Him and car 10 have added to the last two to finish a lap time. So Emo Guy at the minute 1.2 off the pace of Tech Leader. But is that race pace so far? Let's wait and see. Don't forget, if you are here cheering drivers on, let's hear from you in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button if you're new here. Subscribe to the channel as well. As Emo Guy actually goes P7. So that is fantastic to see as we return back to the garage and do all our good stuff. This is now just a quick minute for us as broadcasters to get everything bang on and right.
I watched someone else at pits.
Yeah,
like someone did in, like someone did in Pro.
Good evening to Audio Sport, one of our delicious, I was about to say, one of our delightful partners. It is delicious. One of our delightful partners and sponsors here at the channel. If you want to go and check out Audio Sport, make sure you press the link in the description to take you to our Facebook page, and as well go and check out the guys who bought the server for us, Design Manchester. Go and check their link out underneath as well to see what they can offer you and things like that.
Someone is going out.
You know why I went out last week, don't you?
You forgot.
I made a tweak to my setup and I was just checking. Hence why I did half a lap and then stopped and pitted.
Yeah, it's John Andrews. Very consistent. Doesn't give up, even though the races go horribly wrong for him.
Yeah. And he has had some bad luck at times, hasn't he? He's had some terrible luck where he's you know, been involved in, and he's a bit like Hypertech. Hypertech in Pro-Am, he seems to have awful luck at the start of races as well, and you know, it doesn't go right for him. But for John Andrews, fair play to him. He's kept going, he's kept nailing it out there, and he sat P6 in the championship. One championship I forgot to tell you about, 336 points up for grabs. It's a two-horse fight, really. Flying Potatoes, 16 points clear of the Cartel Sim Racing team. Right then, Pierre, the drivers line up on the grid. You've gone for Shoemaker. I've gone for Tech Leader. The chat at the moment are going the way of Shoemaker as well. So let's see if we get any more votes in. 11 votes currently for Shoemaker. Tech Leader then second before Ben Baff and Ginger Bush.
That's Mac.
Yeah. Apologies.
Let's see if Am can finally get the reverse grid right.
We've had two shockers in the reverse grid, and we've kind of said now that drivers are going to start to get penalised for their reverse grid infringements.
I had a full-blown hissy fit that people were not in the right place on the board.
So important these drivers get it done, and it's so important as well. One thing I noticed in Pro last week is that the leaders kind of went until the back part of the lap, meaning that, you know, it was impossible for drivers to get through. This is something that people need to be aware of. The leaders need to make sure that they are waiting for them cars to sort of to unlap themselves and get done. Do you know what I mean? Right, 20 seconds until the race or till the formation lap gets underway.
See if people remember to fuel up for this formation lap.
What, instead of leaving the fuel in engine
Not
mode 8 before not turning it back for the race, Matt Duffin?
I don't know anyone who did that. Maybe it was a 55 Grello Bentley.
Yeah, Grello Bentley, that's a 4-time champion. What an idiot. Whoops. Either way, it looks like we are about to get underway here.
Oh, someone's missed the start. Ant has missed the start. He's in the pit
lane.
Oh,
that's a shame. That is a shame. So, with Ant missing the start, that puts Ginger Bush, Future Revenge, Jay Danlick and O up an extra place. Right, so your leader should be Checo Bress. Check. Then it should be Ben Baff. Check. After Ben Baff, it should be Hitman. Check. Oh, it's going so well at the minute. After him, it should be Shoemaker. Check. After Shoemaker, it should now be Emo Guy.
No, there's a Ferrari between them at the moment.
Yes, that is Tech Leader, who actually needs to drop back, who lets Emo Guy go. Then it should be Kelly who goes through. Then it's Tech Leader. Right, so they've all sorted it out. Love that. That's what you want to see. After Tech Leader, Baraba. Yes, after Baraba, it should be John Andrews. So where is John? John's a way back. John actually needs to get in front of the purple and yellow Porsche. Then after John Andrews is Ant. So Ant is not there. So John Andrews should be behind the Bentley. Then it should be Ginger Bush. Then it should be Future Revenge, which it is. After Future Revenge, it should then be Jay, which it is.
John's still hanging around the back alongside O.
Yeah, after Jay, it should then be Danlick. Then it should be O. So it is just John Andrews that needs to get himself ahead of the purple and yellow Porsche of Ginger Bush. Everybody else is in the correct grid order. He's got until the final chicane to get ahead of Ginger Bush. But what the leaders now need to do is slow this pack down a little bit to let these backlot catch back up.
Yeah.
So we're still having a little problem.
That's what they didn't do in Pro-Am last week either. It's like coming around the final corner, we were nearly a full chat.
Yeah, exactly. So John Andrews here needs to be behind Baraba. He isn't yet. The pack gets to the hairpin. He's not making moves. So that then is we're going to have to jot that name down and see if he's already had a warning for it.
I think most of them did, didn't they? Be in the wrong place. As they should now be going double file. So Ben needs to pull alongside Checo.
And he is kind of pulling there, yeah. We've got our own Checo.
We've got our own Checo, and he's ditched Red Bull. Well done.
Yeah. So then, they come through the final chicane. John Andrews was not in position, so his name has gone down. And in fact, he's now actually dropped to the back of the pack. But for round 4 of the AM season, we are It's a long start procedure, this one. Green. No, that's the race start initialised. Geez, where are we starting the race? Green and go. All the way down pretty much at turn 1. Ben Baff has already got away from Checo. That seemed to take a while, Pierre, but we're already away here. Danlick's got himself up ahead of John Andrews, and as we drop down to Baraba, he's under pressure from O already as well. Looking at Ginger Bush, who's attacking a few cars. KLF's in the middle of this squabble as well. He's got Ferraris and Porsches all around him. There goes Shoemaker. There goes another car. That's Jay, who's been tapped around in the background. Around he goes. Around Ginger Bush goes as well. And Emo Guy and others starting to filter through. So it is Ben Baff who leads from Checo. Hitman, Emo Guy, KLF. O's up to 6th. Tech Leader's looking up the inside of him, thinks better of it. Then it's Danlick, Baraba, side by side with Jay as Jay goes round the outside of him. And that is job done. After Jay, it's Baraba now. Bunny hops over the curb. John Andrews from Future Revenge, Ginger Bush, and then it's Shoemaker and Ant who actually got out of the pits now. But what a disastrous start for the guys out front as Emo Guy already gaining on the back of P3 of Hitman.
Yeah, and will be a lap down as well, unfortunately, so that's his race ruined for missing the start. Oh, check over sideways.
Yeah, Hitman went a little deep at the hairpin there, and that's invited Emo Guy up through the inside, so that's job done. As we go back to Baraba. Excuse me, as we go back to Barada. Good start from O. Yeah, from the back of the grid. Good start, missed the carnage and got away well. Baraba. No pressure from John Andrews behind now. Ginger Bush, Future Revenge, Shoemaker, Danlick, and then Ant coming through the pack. Right, so it's Ben Baff from Checo, Emo, Hitman, Kelly. O's gaining on the back of Kelly here, to be fair to you, PM. Looks like he's got a bit of pace in his Ferrari tonight.
He has. Shoemaker just lost it in the final chicane again. It's put him behind the lap car van. There's no point in fighting Ant, really. He's lapped down. And
may as well let Ant go a little bit, aren't you here? But Shoemaker has got pace in this car today. Baraba on the back of Jay. Jay's obviously got a bit of damage for an earlier instance. He's actually slow through turn 3 there, and Baraba's all over the back of him. The big Bentley on the back of the Ferrari. Is he going to pull out and have a look at the first chicane, turn 4 and 5? Here comes the boat, and it doesn't get the job done. Just behind these two is John Andrews and Ginger Bush with Future Revenge watching on before Danlick, Shoemaker, who is actually battling Ant here. Now Ant will be being shown blue flags and will need to make sure he's out of the way. Emo Guy is gaining on the back of Checo Bress here.
I've just got to interrupt you there, Matt. O just cut the Villeneuve chicane completely to get in front of Kelly.
Well, that'll give him one warning then to his name surely there, and hopefully, if it doesn't, Kelly will get that one in, because that then seems a little silly from O. And he's been warned as well. Seemed like he didn't understand the rules and regulations last week, so he has been warned as O about the rules and regulations. Kelly's got Tech Leader on the back of him, who was the quickest man in practice as they come through to go on to lap 3 here then. Jay before Baraba. Ginger Bush gaining on the back of the Bentley now, and for Jay, what about his championship rivals around him? Who is it in the championship? It is Future Revenge who's behind him. It's Danlick who's behind him. It's Ginger Bush who's behind him. And speaking of Ginger Bush, he's looking right, he looks left. Is he going to go up the inside into turn 1? Yes, he does. Thank you, Mama, for the carrots. As does Future Revenge on John Andrews. And that's the first one of the night, PM.
It is indeed. As I'll just keep an eye on O, actually. See if he cuts fish chicane. Oh, if I was Kelly, hopefully Kelly's got to provide footage, because I would for that.
Yeah, even though the game penalises you, yeah, agreed. As Emo Guy trying to get on the back of Checo Bress here. Kelly's coming under some pressure from Tech Leader then. Ginger Bush is ahead of Jay and Baraba, so I'm not sure what's happened back between Jay and Baraba then, but Ginger Bush has got himself past the pair of them. So Ginger Bush in the first 4 corners has made 4 places, as O this time gets the job done and makes it stick. Right then, Jay, you're on the back of one of your title rivals. No, you're not, because Baraba has to cut the chicane to avoid the back of Jay breaking into him. And now he's all over the sausage curbs again and bounces into the side of Jay. Baraba lets him rejoin. And now it's Bentley side by side with Danlick and John Andrews in the background watching on as they come towards the hairpin. Here comes Future Revenge up the inside. Danlick's going to look around the outside of Baraba, and no can do, and a few of these cars are carrying a bit of damage at the moment. PM Motorsport, it's been a bit of a scruffy first opening laps.
It's been like a wreckfest nearly, haven't it? Excellent game, by the way.
It is indeed. Noza in the chat was watching O's stream. They made contact, so had to avoid making a collision, said Noza in the chat. So maybe that's something we didn't see on our end. Him and Kelly made contact when cutting the chicane.
Well, I only cut to it and saw the Ferrari.
Right. So there we go. Thank you, Noza, for the update on that one. Then as Emo Guy just dips 2 wheels into the gravel in his pursuit of Checo Bress. Meanwhile, out front, man on debut, Ben Bath. PN 3 seconds up front in the lead. He's flying.
He is flying. I have noticed this McLaren's in golf colours. He's got blue and orange on it. So it's like the old golf McLaren from the 90s.
Kelly bunny hops over the curb then at the first chicane. That's put Tech Leader right on the back of him now, but cannot seem to make this move stick at the moment. He just can't get past Kelly. Well, for all you new amateur drivers, welcome to KLF 900, who is one of the hardest defenders to get past here in SimPlay Motorsports drivers that we have available. Gary 131, good evening to you. Number 112 for the win. Number 112 is that man in the background there. You see the yellow and purple Porsche of Ginger Bush. That is the man that Gary's tipping for a win. Jay trying to catch Baraba as Future Revenge has got John Andrews now gaining on the back of him. In fact, he's not John Andrews. John Andrews is ahead of Future Revenge. It's Shoemaker. It's not even Shoemaker. It's Ant and Shoemaker who dives up the inside of Future Revenge. And Future Revenge does well to get on the brakes and avoids both cars, sending it up the inside. Ant then just now starting PN to unlap a few cars here, and he's got 45 minutes to do so. But it's Ben Bath who leads from Checo Bress, who's actually pulled 7/10 out here on Emo Guy. Hitman, stellar job for Hitman. We had his dad in the chat last week, and it's great to see him. I believe on the sim grid he's registered as South African, so if he is a South African driver, fantastic to see. We've got an early man in the pits, and that is Jay. That's potentially ruined his race.
It has, because he's going to have to pit again in the pit window.
As Gary in the chat, Kelly is hard to pass, and Gary would know. He spent a few seasons racing him in the Pro League, a couple of seasons back on Project Cars 2 as Tech Leader here, got within a 10th, but still just cannot find a way past KLF. And now you've got the Ginger Bush Porsche coming as well. It's currently McLaren from Porsche from Nissan on the podium at the moment, and Tech Leader going to find out how hard Kelly is to pass. This does benefit though PN, one driver, and could now score a few more points.
He could indeed, with Jay having a pit again, unfortunately, and Kelly's defending like mad. He knows he hasn't got the pace as Tech Leader, and he's just getting the elbows out, placing the car. And
he's such a wily old fox, he's Kelly. He knows where to place the car. He knows how to defend from people. As Mike Matthews now in the chat, good evening to you. Hardest to pass in SimPlay ever, says Mike Matthews. And these aren't negatives against Kelly. These are compliments, because Kelly is such a difficult man to overtake. As quick as Kelly can be, and as many races as Kelly has won, he is a difficult man to pass. Emo Guy has got past Checo Bress finally then. Hitman was on the back of them, and Tech Leader runs a little deep coming through turn 1, trying to look around the outside of Kelly, and now Ginger Bush is attacking Tech Leader then. And this could be absolutely crucial for this race so far. If Ginger Bush can get past Kelly now, can stretch his legs a little bit and let drivers go.
He can, and now Emo has cleared Checo by 2 seconds.
Yeah,
he can now hunt down Ben.
He can indeed, as Hitman's gaining on the back of him. O's not too far back as we drop down the pack. Jay's still in the pits, a lot of damage to that car, and I believe now Ant has actually passed Jay for position. So Jay, when they come through the timing screens, will probably be last. Yes, he is. So Jay's just got to get back out there to score points. As Ginger Bush is now, as we just cut back to him, moves up to P7. Ginger Bush ahead of Tech Leader at the moment then.
Yeah, it was a lovely pass into the chicane. Well, wasn't the chicane when Villeneuve was like there when he hit her. Who was it he hit? I can't remember. But he hit someone and then got caught in the catch fencing. There's a great safety feature. Let's never see that again.
Gary in the chat. 100% compliments to KLF. Hard but clean, just how it should be. And indeed he is. Kelly is a fantastic driver and has been a fantastic driver at SimPlay Motorsport. DJ Phil, loving the show. Go, get going for it, KLF 900.
I don't think he's quite got the pace here today.
Definitely doesn't have the pace, but it's great to see Kelly out there. Obviously, Kelly, been with us for quite a while now at SimPlay Motorsport, previous commentator. And it's great to see Kelly out there doing bits. In fact, this tonight for KLF 900 is actually his 140th race start here. So a veteran of SimPlay Motorsport. He's in the top 19 drivers in terms of race starts here at SimPlay. And he's just adding to his tally. He actually goes tied with Bryn on 140 race starts, but obviously Bryn will be competing tomorrow night to break that barrier. As that is Hitman off a little further up, and does this give O a little look round the outside, down the hill? O, job done already. O now moves into P4. He's having a better week than last week, and look who's on the back. KLF and Ginger Bush are now starting to come at each other. UMVDM, Kelly, Minister of Defence of SimPlay. Well, indeed he is. That's the title I think we ought to start giving KLF 900 now.
He's our Sergio Perez, isn't he, really? Yeah.
The Ministry of Defence.
As Emo's gained a second on Ben for the lead.
He has indeed. 3.3 is that gap, but we're currently watching Ginger Bush looking to the outside of KLF. Kelly's kept his car in the middle of the road. Gary defo needs to get back in the booth on the mic. Well, we'd love to have Kelly's welcome any time, as he doesn't get the best of runs out of chicane, and Ginger Bush does, and Ginger Bush now goes side by side with KLF 900, but he's going to be on the outside going into turn one. Kelly's going to have that inside line, breaks a little earlier. Ginger Bush now tries to tuck underneath. He gets a better run than Kelly through turn one. Kelly has to tuck back in and has to now defend from tech leader. In fact, he's going to squeeze down the inside, a gap that was just there for Kelly, but Kelly goes round and Ginger Bush carries on his way. Kelly loses out to tech leader as well.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, but that was a door always going to close.
As Gary asking in the chat, who's got the most starts at SimPlay? It's Gary 131 with 268. DJ Phil is then second with 263. But DJ Phil may be the most person to have the most race starts, because he's doing Porsche Cup that starts in a week time, and Gary isn't. So Phil could be they have the most race starts at SimPlay Motorsport shortly then. Right, Jay's out the pitch. John Andrews, bit of a wiggle as we go on board him. He's just been passed by Danlick. Ant, just to say, has made his way up and over the hill. He's towards the second chicane. He's got Shoemaker and Baraba in front. So that's for P10 and 9 on the track. So he's about 7 seconds clear of Future Revenge at the moment. So trying to obviously put a lap on him. As at Gary in the chat, beautiful move by the 112. That is a beautiful move by Ginger Bush, Gary. Indeed it was, as the cameraman slowly picks up the cars coming out of the hairpin. It's Shoemaker on the back of Baraba. Shoemaker had a good bit of pace here, as did Tech Leader, so it's going to be interesting to see them close the gap, as here comes Shoemaker down towards the final chicane, laid on the brakes, picks up the apex. Absolutely peach, beautifully done, but there's still a big Bentley as they get tapped around, and that's just caught Ant, who is trying to unlap himself there as well. And Baraba, I think he's going to let Shoemaker go. Does Baraba feel that it was his fault as he lets Shoemaker go now? And that is fantastic to see. Ginger Bush trying to gain on the back of Hitman now.
The lead's within 2 seconds.
The lead is within 2 seconds. As Emo Guy really starting to charge at the moment. And Ginger Bush, I think it's Ginger Bush, the man who's on the best charge here. He got caught up early in the race, and now he's coming through the field. Definitely a podium for Ginger Bush, says Gary in the chat. I tell you what, Gary could be right here, PN. He's flying at the moment.
He is flying, and I wonder why Gary likes that car. Is it because it's a Porsche?
Yeah, is it because it's a Porsche? That's what Gary's driving.
Yeah, he's probably going to ask him for a setup later.
Wouldn't surprise me if he's already messaged him on Discord asking for a setup, as Ginger Bush looks to gain on the back of Hitman here, the young man. Great to see Hitman back out on track, and Ginger Bush now following through the chicane, and it's getting close. And just up front you can see Checo Bress and O as well in front of these two, so close proximity to the podium. And another reason Gary's probably liking this is it's Porsche 3rd, 5th and 6th at the moment, so he's obviously enjoying that. This is Hitman! He's gone round on his own. Or was there a tap from Ginger Bush? I'm not too sure. But Hitman is around, he's off the track. KLF now gets past. Shoemaker's going to try to as well. What about Baraba? Yeah, Hitman now has to wait for the traffic to go. That was Ant who gets through as well. Hitman devastated for him. So there's Ben Bath, there's Emo Guy. Checo Bress 3rd with 2.5 behind. Ginger Bush now in P5 with Tech Leader 6th. KLF 7th, Shoemaker 8th, Baraba 9th. Future Revenge 10th, Hitman's got back going but down in P11. Danlick 12th, John Andrews 13th, Ant trying to unlap himself after he missed the start 14th, and Championship leader Jay not having the best of races at the moment. How far is he off the back of Ant as we go through? And we won't get to see because Anta's just gone through the first sector timing being there. So let's go back to Tech Leader. Was testing with 112 last night, showed good pace. He's a good driver, is Ginger Bush. He's missed 1 week, that's why he's not in the championship lead at the minute, but he won the first race of the AM League, didn't he, back at Paul Ricard in the wet?
He did, in a car, but you don't expect to win in the wet for 911.
Yeah. So Tech Leader trying to gain on Ginger Bush, but it's who's actually within 1.3 of Checo Bress, and Emo Guy's actually lost half a second to Ben Baff here.
He has he put a tyre on the grass again and lost a little bit of traction. And Gary, I know you were testing last night. I was watching.
I was in, and then I had to go into a Rocket League tournament, so I didn't manage to stay on. But
yeah, I just did a few laps. Went, yeah, I can't. No, don't roll again.
Hitman then here must be carrying a bit of damage because Danlick is trying to gain on the back of him. Emo Guy's lost a little more time to Ben Baff, 3 tenths in that latest sector as car 15 is off. That is Jay. Wow, Jay. Was he off? He must have gone a little wide actually. There was no yellow flag, but his dot went light blue to he's invalidated his lap as that's Danlick, 2 wheels on the gravel. He's had to catch that one. We'll jump back to O though, because O's really gaining on Checo Bress here. And down in towards the second chicane they come, and it's Porsche, Ferrari. But they're not teams, so it's Checo Bress from O with Ginger Bush in the background, and the gap says it's 2 seconds between O and Checo Bress. I don't think it is. Here comes O. Is he going to think of sending one into the hairpin? No, he's not close enough. Checo Bress gets that one stopped and turn in. Absolutely beautiful. Here comes O, though, really attacking the chromed Porsche in front. This is for a podium, and look at that. Ginger Bush now pulls 6 tenths from sector 1 to sector 2. And what's he going to pull on these two as they come to the line? Checo Bress clearly holding that Ferrari up. O's having a much better week this week.
He is. It's like he's understood the rules a bit more.
Well, there's one thing we've got to see. That's the pit exit. Because them two last week was the 2 big points of O, as he's going to look up the inside of Checo Bress here. Has a look, but Checo Bress manages to get out the corner and stay defensive into turn 2. Ginger Bush in the background. He's going to now look up the inside of O as O just cuts off the nose of Ginger Bush there. That must have been a brown pants moment for Ginger Bush. O looking up the inside in towards turn 3. Can't get it done through there, sir. Now he's going to look at the chicane as Ginger Bush just puts 2 wheels into the gravel trap, so he's just going to lose a little bit of momentum coming down towards turn 5 and 6 as here comes O and backs out of that move. Doesn't think he can get it done, and did he there? Just behind the standings, give Checo Bress a little tap up the rear end. That, though, has allowed Ginger Bush through, and now Ginger Bush is on the back of Checo Bress, but manages to not get through. Checo Bress, even if he did receive a bit of a tap from O there, he's managed to hold on to P3 at the moment.
Yes, let's see as the pit window is now open. Are we going to get any early callers to the pit?
Well, this is going to be the biggest question, I imagine. Anton J may coming to the pitch. Ginger Bush looks up the inside of Checo Bress. And Checo Bress has to stay wide because O thinks I'm going to have a piece of that and gets himself through as well. So Ginger Bush ahead of O and of Checo Bress. Now, Gary said he's on for a podium. Well, indeed he is. Right, Checo Bress pulls straight into the pit lane. Tech Leader didn't think about it this time around. What then about Shoemaker, who's got himself out of KLF? Kelly's down to 8th place now. Is Shoemaker going to come straight in? Indeed he doesn't. Kelly does, though. So Kelly reacts there. Ant is just ahead of Baraba. Ant doesn't pit. Baraba doesn't pit. Future Revenge, he's going into the pits. What about Danlick, who's a little further back at the moment? He's got himself ahead of Hitman. He's going to box. Hitman is going to box. John Andrews, what is he going to do then? Jay, I just noticed he got himself within a sector time of Ant as well. John Andrews going to stay out. So Ant stays out. No, sorry, where is Ant? Yeah, Ant stays out. And Jay is going to box and get his pit stop done early. So Checo Bress, PN, the first man in the pits.
Jay came into the pits really hot then on the grass. He would have lost a lot of time there, to be honest.
Ginger Bush still defending from PN, keeping out the pit exits. Ginger Bush trying to... O here. Trying to attack the back of Ginger Bush, but he's got the other Ferrari of Tech Leader gaining on the back of him as they're all coming through the middle sector. Still nobody has completed their mandatory stop at the moment as they all come through. Where is Ben? Ben and Emo Guy at the final chicane now. Checo, Bress and Kelly away. Actually, Kelly there.
Made a storming pit
That
stop.
is a good pit stop. Checo Bress must have had some damage of some kind then. He's out. And none of these three decide to pit, neither do the leaders. So Checo Bress, we can cut to him now. Does he come out the pits? He's just managed to stay within a lap, and he's actually split the two leaders there. So out the pits he comes. Here comes KLF. That's all within track regulation and track limits. That's good to see.
As Future Revenge now exits.
He does indeed, and he's going to come out just behind the three that's gone past. Then he stays within the track limits, it looked like there. Very difficult camera angle to see here. Danlick, he's been the one who's had big problems with track limits, with the staying within the pit line. Not this week.
And he does.
Yeah, that's absolutely bang on. Well done. Right then. Oh, still hassling the back of Ginger Bush. You carry on watching Jay as he comes out the pit lane. Oh, they all hop, skip and a jump and a bit of a wiggle from O as he comes through the first chicane. As he hopped over the second part of it, that's going to allow Tech Leader to have a bit more momentum down towards the second chicane, but cannot get the move done. Hitman as well is now coming out the pits. Ant still didn't pit, but he's got past Hitman. And Shoemaker now comes in for his stop. So he's now reacted to KLF, who is only 5 seconds off the back of Checo Bress. Actually, here is Kelly. So Kelly, good stop from him. But we're watching this fight for third, fourth and fifth at the moment as the leaders come to the final chicane. They're about to lap. In fact, who is that in between them or just behind them? That is car 83 of Checo Bress, who's just behind the leaders at the moment. We don't do fastest lap, Gary, because the PS4 version does not tell us. Ginger Bush stays out, O stays out, Tech Leader gonna pull the trigger on the undercut here then, PM Motorsport.
Yeah, as our Shoemaker's got a lot of damage. That was a very long stop for the black McLaren.
Yeah, he's lost out to Kelly there, I do believe. He's not even out pit exit. Checo Bress is through. Kelly's way through. Future Revenge is past. Or is he actually? This will be close.
I don't know if Shoemaker was over the white line. I couldn't quite see it because of the leaderboard in the way.
Okay. Might be worth just asking him for his footage then. So Shoemaker comes out behind KLF. He's got that work to do again. Ginger Bush started to drop O a little bit here. Tech Leader, the only man in the pits. Drivers have got 5 minutes left to complete their mandatory pit stop here then. As Ant has unlapped himself from Danlick. And Danlick on the back of Ant, but Ant obviously has to pit. Don't forget, if you are new here at SimPlay Motorsport, please hit that subscribe button. If you like what you see here, hit the thumbs up button. And if you want to see more, hit that bell to be notified when we are live. As well as PM Motorsport. Join me and Benedict Varga tomorrow, 8 PM UK time for the Pro-Am series, in which PM will be racing. And if you want to listen to PM do some more commentary, join him and Dan Davis live on Thursday night with myself and Gary131 and Benedict Varga will be out on the pro circuit going around this fantastic Zolder track. Right, leaders in. Gary saying box Ginger Bush. Well, Ginger Bush must be listening to Gary131 because in he comes. O didn't pit, so he's going to take the net lead of this race. Barada as well is still out there. John Andrews away back at the moment. What about Ant? Where is he? He's by the end of this circuit. Is Ant going to dive in? No, so he's going to stay out. So O will be the net leader of this race, who Shoemaker actually just unlaps himself from. Baraba stays out. John Andrews nowhere near it yet. What's he going to do? This is now a race in the pits between Ben Baff and Emo Guy.
It is, yeah. Did Emo catch? Because I was watching the pit stops. I was watching Emo see if he's catching in to Ben Bath.
He's gained a couple more tenths. So the question is here, I suppose. There's traffic coming around the back of the circuit. John Andrews comes into the pits. Gary might be there Thursday. That's right. Gary's not 100% sure for Thursday yet. Might be at the racing in Skegness. Watching cars go in a circle. But hey. Right,
well,
Ben.
You got all circuits are circles.
Well, that's true. Ben off the limiter out the pits. Emo Guy off the limiter out the pits. Keep an eye on them two then, Pian, as they are on their way. Checo Bress is behind Tech Leader. So Tech Leader actually had a good stop because he's jumped Checo Bress in the pit stops.
Yeah, as John's car was in the way a bit, but luckily...
Also, just to point out, Tech Leader's just jumped Ginger Bush, who's had a very long stop, must have repaired his damage. Tech Leader now is up into P3, net P3 at the moment.
In a Ferrari.
doing a stellar job. So Ginger Bush got work to do, although Tech Leader's got past as well. Has Kelly got past Ginger Bush? No. Actually, I don't think Checo breasted either. No, he didn't. So Ginger Bush out P5 at the moment, at P6 at the moment, but P5 overall. Ant is in the pits. John Andrews is about to leave the pits. It is just O and Baraba left to pit, but O's carried on his way, as has Baraba. Well, they've probably got a pit at the end of this lap because they're not going to make another one.
No, even though it's like a 1 minute 30 each lap. But Baraba's not pitted yet, and neither is O.
As we saw with Dean Wasocki last Wednesday, it's a 130-second time penalty if you don't pit.
It's 130 seconds time penalty in every circuit if you don't pit.
I think the thing is here, and Dean did it. Who's car number 10? That is Ant. Stop-go penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and he didn't complete his pit stop.
No.
So his race has gone from bad to worse. Can he come in and do his pit stop before his penalty? I think he can turn the penalty off. But for Ant, it's been a miserable night here. Right, we're on with O. Yeah, I think you're best off, if you miss the pit window, you're best off doing what Dean did, didn't he? Just carry on your way and, damage limitations, yeah. If you can pull time over the car in front, great. Hitman's got himself out, and Jay may now pick up some more points. O is going to box as Baraba flicks up a sign that was on the circuit. He's now going to come in.
Into the pit lane.
Maybe a little cautious on where the line was, maybe?
Practice your pit lane, these boys.
Always practice your pit lane. Right, Baraba comes in as well. So Ben Bath, 2.2 ahead of Emo Guy. These two should take the lead. Tech Leader will be net third place. Ginger Bush, 4 seconds behind. Checo Bress, 6 behind him. Kelly's 4.1 behind Checo Bress, so he's gaining on him. Shoemaker's trying to gain on Kelly. That's 5 seconds. Future Revenge is then trying to gain on Shoemaker before Danlick P11. John Andrews 12th, Hitman 13th, with Ant 14th, stop-go penalty, and Jay down in 15th place.
Does Ant come back in the pits, or does he just say sod up and get the DQ?
Well, he's got to do his stop-go, hasn't he? Even if he doesn't do his mandatory stop, he's back in. So let's see what happens. Right, I do your stop, yeah.
Do your stop, and then come back round again. Do your stop go.
Right. Ben takes the lead. Emo Guy takes hold of second. Tech Leader. O's now just pulling away. Tech Leader gets through. Ginger Bush, as O now comes off his limiter, Ginger Bush gets through. Checo Bress here then. Has he been jumped by Ginger Bush? That's the biggest question. I think he may have done here. Let's keep our eyes on O, who stays within the pit line there and jumps. Checo Bress here.
I think he's jumped Tech Leader.
No, Tech Leader's already coming out towards the first chicane. It's because he's not gone through the first. There you go. Look, Tech Leader third. This should put Ginger Bush fourth. O will be fifth. Is Baraba sixth? No, that should go the way then of Checo Bress, with Kelly seventh. Moving Shoemaker up into eighth. And is it then Baraba? It will be Future Revenge and then Baraba. So that is your gaps.
So Ant's done his mandatory pit stop now, and he's
got to come round, do his stop go. Yeah. To rub salt into the wound as well. Jay's just got past him to rub salt into the wound. Right, closest gap out there at the minute is 1.5 seconds between Ben Bath on his SimPlay debut and Emo Guy, who's, you can pretty much class him a little veteran here. He's been around for a few seasons. He's himself, Emo Guy has got himself 89 race starts. This is his 90th race at SimPlay Motorsport. But like you said earlier, Pian, a master of the game and a master of ACC, really, whether it's PC or console. He knows how to drive this game.
He does. As he said last week in the interviews, it's taken him a while to get used to the old tire model we've got on here on the PS4 compared with like the PC and the PS5 or Xbox Series. Let's not forget the Xbox. Or let's forget the Xbox. As 1.5 seconds, 15 minutes. This is still on for the race win for Emo Guy. Technically, the 16 seconds is on the country drive, but can Ginger Bush catch him?
Well, Kelly's just lost out. He was 5 seconds ahead of Shoemaker. He's just lost out and he's now 2 seconds behind Shoemaker, I've just noticed. So that's not good for Kelly. He's dropped down now to 8th. Can he catch Checo Bress? But as you say at the moment, this is really Emo Guys or Benbath's to win, isn't it? And with 15 minutes left in the race, we're about to start lap 19. So these boys really are putting on a fantastic show. So we know roughly that Pro and Pro-Am will be 17, 18 laps.
Yep.
Because they've had their half an hour. It is important information. Gary, still in the chat. He's the only one we're really speaking to at the moment. Guys, girls, let's hear from you in the chat. Let's hear what you think to the night's racing. Ant in for his stop go. He still says that Ginger Bush is on for a podium. Does Gary 131? Well, he's got 3.5 seconds to tech leader. And at the pace Ginger Bush has been going tonight, it is doable. As he crosses the line, that's gone down another 10th through the final sector.
Yep. As Ben Bath is coming up to the lap, I believe it's John Andrews.
That's Hitman.
That's Hitman, is it?
Yeah.
He's got pace, but it's just like bad at the final chicane.
Well, it did indeed. Emo Guy has dropped time to Ben Bath actually here. So Ben Bath actually pulling away a little bit. We'll see. We'll keep our eyes on the Ginger Bush battle as well as that time tries to tick down. It's now 4.1, so he's actually lost a bit of time in that first sector as well. Keep your eyes on Checo and O here, because that's 2.3. So let's see if that fluctuates up and down. As it's now 2.2. So Checo gaining on O. Shoemaker trying to score points as well. And Kelly just losing out at the moment, but he's well clear of future revenge. Is KLF, and the gap up front back down to 1.7. So Emo Guy's had a better middle sector than than Ben Bath here. And again, Emo put into the Nissan because of how good Emo Guy is in the Bentley. He obviously nearly won the championship, the small 6-race series we did a couple of years ago. He nearly won that championship. But if he does get a podium tonight in the Nissan, it will be Nissan's second podium. So, which is great to see.
Yeah. Can you go back to the Iron Brew colours?
Yeah, I prefer the Iron Brew colours. They was nicer, wasn't
They were definitely nicer. Hang on, you're not meant to be able to change your colours now. Before it's just start the season.
I mean, yeah, it is what it is. Ant sounds like he's on his way out of the pits then. Hopefully he is. Poor night for Ant. As Emo 1.5 now. Checo Bress has got within a second of O. So Checo Bress is coming here on O. PN, and he's starting to gain that time down a little bit.
Yep. Is O struggling?
Potentially. It's good night from O though tonight. Better night, really is.
It is a lot better compared to last week. It's like someone's taken him under his wing and sort of like said, right, this is what you got to do.
Let's just jump down to Hitman a moment actually. He's trying to gain on the back of John Andrews here. And in the background there you see Ben Bath and Emo Guy. So it's a Porsche battle for 12th and 13th. As Ginger Bush has the gap down to 2.7. And these two are going to start squabbling here while the leaders are coming up to them. Right, Jay Anti slow out the pits. He needs to get back going. Daz in the chat, Emo, classy drive again. It has been a classy drive from Emo. As here comes Hitman. He's going to look up the inside, thinks better of it at the moment as John Andrews goes a little wide, bumps along the gravel. Hitman won't want the second invitation. Through goes Hitman, up into P12.
Yeah, and at the second chicane, Checo got past O. And now Shoemaker's with him as well. Yeah,
Shoemaker right on the back of him now, so Shoemaker can make up some moves here. Tech leader and Shoemaker was the quickest two, separated by a 1/10 of a second in that practice session. So tech leader's going to be hard for Ginger Bush to catch and pass here. As the Nissan, I was just saying, has 2 podiums at SimPlay Motorsport. It's got 1 more than the Lexus. It's got 1 more than the Chevrolet. 6 behind the Aston Martin. But at the minute going well as here comes Shoemaker to try and get past O. Looks around the outside at turn 2. O keeps it there. Runs himself a little deep. They just tap a little bit. And I think, has he got that job back done on Shoemaker? Yes, he has. Shoemaker has to wait until next time around or until these next couple of corners. This is all going to help Checo Bress pull away as Ginger Bush's gap is now down under 2 seconds. And Emo Guy within a second of Ben Bath. As let's just go back to Ben Bath here. Has he got ahead of the leader of them back markers?
Oh, launching it over the curbs at the first chicane.
Right, so Ben Bath has lapped John Andrews and is still on the back of Hitman here. But Emo Guy is coming. Shoemaker side by side though, back to him as they touch doors again, bounces off the sausage curb, pushes very wide, and gets the job done.
Little bit naughty, that was, pushed him off the road.
O's going to think of coming back to him. Oh, was that a tap up the rear from O to put Shoemaker off? Oh no, Shoemaker nearly into the side of Kelly. So now Kelly's back into the game here. Great, superb racing, great respect between all drivers, says Gary. Just as he says that, and Shoemaker decide to have a little bit of contact. Right, leader, half a second between Ben Baff and Emo Guy here. 10 minutes remaining in this race. Here we go, PM.
Godzilla's coming. Run.
1.6 Ginger Bush to tech leader, so we'll keep our eyes on that one as well. But Ben Baff starts to defend early at the second chicane.
Yeah.
Nice to see Nissan fighting for a win, says Ben Varga in the chat. Oh, Ben, how's your nerve on your debut? Oh, that'll help! That'll help! Emo's in the wall!
Oh!
He's gone so deep, he's kept it pinned through the grass, and Emo Guy into the wall.
I'm just going to watch the stream back for back.
Ginger Bush, he's within 2 tenths now of tech leader. So has tech leader had a mistake somewhere as well? Well, depending on the damage to Emo Guy, 20 seconds tech leader to Emo. So if Ginger Bush gets past, I was about to say, could he get Emo Guy? 20 seconds in just under 9 minutes, that's going to be a tough ask.
It is going to be very, very tough. Depends how heavily damaged the Nissan is, or it's just brushed it off like it's nothing, like some cars do.
Ginger Bush runs a little deep at the final chicane, has to get it right for the second part. He's now hunting down. As Kelly and Shoemaker just tap. Kelly, did he just leave a car's width there? Shoemaker gets back on track and away he goes. They're both still trying to hunt O down.
As they're fighting though, Future Revenge is going to gain on them two McLarens.
The two McLarens, and if they can keep with O and bring O into this fight as well, they're going to gain on all three, because Kelly's within a second. Shoemaker, in fact, Kelly's within 8 tenths of a second. Shoemaker's now dropped back a little bit after that contact with Kelly, but he's got pace to come back through. 1.3 seconds.
How damaged is Emo? Can he get back on?
1.2 seconds. He's actually gained a tenth in that sector. As Kelly to O, still 8 tenths of a second, and they're already at sector 1. It's only a short lap here, and Kelly's having a look on O. O tries to defend one way. Well, he got told about this last time out. That's 2 manoeuvres. So he's got to be careful here.
And Kelly would be the first one to say.
There's one tricky corner where Emo lost it, says Ben, especially on worn tyres in the chat. Indeed it is. And Kelly, well, he's been defending for a lot of this race. He's now going to try and have to overtake O here. Ginger Bush back within half a second. So, PN, if you keep an eye on that fight a second.
Yep.
And we'll keep an eye on O and KLF at the moment. As towards the hairpin they come. 1.6 out front, Ben to Emo.
Yeah, Ginger Bush is looking to the right in the turn 1 of tech leader. Might not work there. Does he get the cut back?
He doesn't. Looked like he was going to try and keep it then up to the inside for turn 2, but tech leader's wise to that. Ginger Bush goes around the outside. Can't make that one work either. So these two having a great scrap here.
While they're scrapping, that's going to save Emo.
It is going to save Emo, who's now 2 seconds behind Ben Baff, and Ginger Bush just loses out a little bit. Let's watch Kelly into turn 1. PN, you stick with that fight. Kelly into turn 1 still. Can't get himself ahead of O at the minute. He seems to have more pace than O. Is he going to try and tuck underneath O? Gets it stopped on the apex absolutely beautifully there. And now they come through into turn 3 towards turn 4. Shoemaker looks slow all of a sudden there. Has he ran out of fuel? He stopped on the apex.
Yeah,
his car has just come to a halt. I think he's run out of fuel.
That's fuel. He's got 2 minutes and then he can get back in. But that would be a place probably for Ant. That's Ginger Bush is wide and on the grass. Nearly hit the wall that Emo guy hit.
Well, that puts to bed any battle with KLF. And now can allow Kelly to full attack O. Shoemaker out of fuel. What a shame that is.
Yeah, O was on the green at that chicane. That's a corner cut.
Shoemaker's just put in the Discord. I absolutely love running out of fuel. He's done it again. That is a shame for Shoemaker as Kelly looks up the inside at the hairpin. He's been given the room from O, and you don't need to give Kelly a second invitation. Just doesn't get the run out of the chicane that O did. And we have lost Shoemaker from this race.
Don't quit. Wait 2 minutes and then come back out. There was time.
There was time. Indeed, there was time. Right, Kelly to the outside towards turn 1 we go. He's just not quite far enough alongside at the moment. He now cuts back to the inside. He's going to try and outbrake the Ferrari. They both miss the apex as O gives Kelly the room. And luckily enough, no contact made. But Kelly, all of a sudden, we've seen him do a masterclass of defending. He's now trying to set O up in this race. And now, all of a sudden, be in for 6th place.
Yep. And look at Ant. Ant hasn't given up. He's 3 laps down. Yeah. He's still out there.
Kelly tries to tuck underneath as O goes a little wide coming through turn 3. He's just not got the grunt in that McLaren compared to the Ferrari. And O, he's going to keep hold of that place. And this is what's letting Kelly down at the minute. The traction out the corners, but O across the chicane. That's going to lose him some momentum compared to Kelly.
As Emo goes back within 2 seconds of Benba. Just looking at the timing ladder while Ginger Bush is now back on tech leader.
Yeah, indeed he is. And you keep an eye on that fight. Actually, we can go to that fight because Kelly's just lost out a little bit here. Here comes Ginger Bush. He looks up the inside into turn 1. Just made the corner a little tight, but actually there, tech leader got distracted by that and goes straight on.
He makes a mistake. Forced him into an error. If that goes into the stewards, I'll be like, well, that's racing, sunshine.
Yeah, exactly. I can't see that one going in. I think tech leader will know that that was his mistake there. So Gary, absolutely spot on. Ginger Bush on the podium now. Kelly's had a fantastic last sector. Look at Future Revenjo. He's only 5 seconds off the back of these two. As I'm not sure who this is joining in the Lexus.
Who have they got the password for?
Yeah, that is the question. We'll see whose name it is.
Because technically we should penalise them. It's Camel from Pro.
Yeah.
If Mike's watching, do you want to say something in Discord?
Indeed so. Kelly puts O into... Well, he doesn't put him into the gravel, but he forces a move that puts O into the gravel as Camel leaves the session. And here goes Kelly down the outside of O and gets the job done. P6 for KLF at the chicane. And I say he puts him in the gravel. By that I mean Kelly set him up that O went deep into the gravel.
Oh, I've just seen the right-hand side of Emo's car. It's a lot of missing paint. As he's got 2.5 minutes to get Ben Buff, if he can get Ben Buff.
Yeah, if he can get Ben Buff indeed, as through the middle sector they come. Future Revenge now, actually, PN, when you look at this, he's not far off the back of these guys here.
Well, he's had a quiet night as Future Revenge in the Bentley.
Yeah, look at him, he's in the background, look at Baraba and O here, so, sorry, of Kelly and O, and Baraba's not far in the background as well.
Yeah, as Ben Buff's just let Danlick. Danlick's getting right out of the way of the leaders.
There's been a few little bumps and scrapes tonight, but from what I can see, the only thing I've noted, pit entries looked okay from what I saw. John Andrews, the only man out of position at the start.
Yep, and everything looked fine to me. And
yep.
It's a bit hard to see when you got the bladder there and for the time of the scoring to see if anyone did cross the white line. Oh, Checo over the curb at the first chicane. Don't want to do that.
No, you do not indeed. Right, Ginger Bush, 22 seconds to Emo Guy. Emo Guy's actually kept within 1.5 seconds of Ben Bath here. Don't forget, as the leader starts the final lap on his debut, he must have had a poor final sector because Emo Guy's got within a second. Don't forget, if you are new to SimPlay Motorsport, hit that thumbs up button and the bell to be notified and hit that subscribe button. We are fast approaching 500 subscribers, so it really does mean a lot for us as a community and as a channel. And Ben Bath here on his debut, PN, could be on for a debut win in the McLaren.
Yeah, he could be, but Emo Guy has other ideas of that. He's on him as they head towards the chicane where you can fly.
Right, through turn 1 and 2. There's no other real scraps happening on the track. This is the closest battle. He's lost a 10th in sector 1. All Ben Bath has to do is get this done. KLF will have a nightmares about the Ferrari rear end after that. That's for sure, says Ben in the chat. I'm sure he will indeed. As Ben Baff now comes through, he looks like he's gapped Emo Guy a little bit, and Emo Guy will have to be taking it easy. Good drive from the top three, says Gary, as Ben Baff comes towards the hairpin. What a drive on his debut. He's been in Mexico for a couple of weeks with his family. Comes back, rocks up to Zolder, race win.
It's not over yet. We don't want to curse him yet with the curse of the commentators. Oh, I miss Murray.
Down to the final chicane comes Ben Baff. And for race 4 this season, we're going to crown a brand new race winner at SimPlay Motorsport. It is going to be Ben Baff who takes the race win. Emo Guy will be in second place. What a drive. Excuse me.
Emo Guy,
yeah.
In the Nissan.
What a drive from Ginger Bush as well. Down the order he was. And he has come across the line. And he's going to be P3. Fantastic job from him. As Ant has already crossed the line, P14.
As has Danlick, P10, Hitman,
Hitman P11, Danlick P10. Tech Leader has crossed the line in P4.
Here comes Checo.
And then Checo, the next man for P5. Good debut for Checo as well, a P5. That's not too bad there. Good P5 for Checo. KLF, a P6, a hard-fought P6 for KLF. He can be very happy with his efforts tonight. Good defensive drive. He put pressure on O when he needed to put pressure on. In fact, O has actually lost out to Future Revenge and to Baraba. So Kelly for P6. Future Revenge is going to cross the line for P7. Baraba will cross the line for P8 before O. Is he out of fuel?
He's out of fuel. Is he out of fuel?
Luckily for O, that's the race over. So he will get 9th place points because he was a lap ahead of Danlick and Hitman and John Andrews, who's finished in P12.
If Noz is still in our YouTube chat, can he confirm if
I
was out of fuel?
In the chat, looking like not a bad result for Kelly too, says Mike Matthews. Thank you, Mama, for the carrots, says Ben Baff. Indeed he does. Congrats, says Louis Allen. Sad to not see any Hondas on the AM grid. What a result for Ben Baff. Hats off. Indeed it was. It was a great result for Ben. An absolute masterclass from him. It really was. Has returned. I think he's out of fuel there. Right then, so we know what that's done to the championship. So we'll tell you what that does to the championship standings in just a moment's time. We need to figure out the rest of these drivers if they can do interviews or not.
We know Emo can.
We know Emo can. We know Kelly can, and we know Jay can. Which means I imagine Ben can, and then it's just the rest that we need to figure out if they can. Either way, though.
Is Emo in the comms party?
I believe he is. If he gets in, great. If he doesn't, not to worry tonight, should I say. Right, championship standings look a little like this then. It is Jay, 4 points clear of Future Revenge and Ginger Bush, tied on 67 points. Danlick is 4th place on 57. Tech Leader then on 53 and 5th place. Ant in 6th on 51 with John Andrews 7th on 49. Tied with Baraba now on 49. Emo Guy stays 9th but he's on 48 points. Kelly's on 47 so he's still only a point behind him is KLF. Good points there for Kelly and Emo as well. Ben Bath 25 points straight out for a race win. Sharkbait's on 23 with O on 22. Hitman 18. Checo Brest 17, Leon Fernie 14, Shoemaker 13 and NTS on 1. Flying Potatoes 96 points compared to Cartel Sim Racing 58, and the manufacturers looks a little like this. McLaren 842, Bentley 529, Ferrari 357, Aston Martin 263, Audi and Honda 261, Lexus 214, BMW 65, Mercedes 60, Nissan 48 and Lamborghini 43. We are going to get a quick driver of the day poll before we get your final thoughts, PM.
The only person I could get into the comms box was Emo.
That's fine. I'm sure Emo was already... Oh, no, he wasn't. His other account was in.
Yeah, he's in.
Well, we can quickly speak with Emo in just... PM, ask Emo a few questions while I just do the driver of the day poll.
Yeah, hello, Emo. Guardian. How was your race? Eventful in the Nissan?
Well, the beginning was definitely eventful. I don't know, from what I saw when I was watching the stream as the race started, my little half spin wasn't caught on the camera. But that was probably the most eventful part of the race for me, apart from trying to catch up to Ben. Yeah, it was pretty eventful, trying to keep the car away from the curbs and the chicanes.
Yeah, we see you no longer in Iron Brew colours. We kind of miss your Iron Brew colours.
No, that was an unintentional mistake on the colour palette for me with that car.
Yeah, so that wasn't bad considering you're in the Nissan, and that's a bit of a tank. Not as much as a Bentley.
Well, when you've driven the no TC, no ABS Maserati around here, you kind of learn to drive anything around this track. So but it was still the GTR, so it was still a bit of a handful coming out the slower corners.
Indeed. So thoughts for Brands Hatch next week?
Oh, to be honest with you, I don't even think I'm expecting to be having any kind of decent result with Brands Hatch. I've never really liked the track it with the GTR, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, okay, see if Matt's got a few questions for you as well. As you
just talk us through your incident, because it looked like you hit the wall hard.
Yeah, I thought I'd managed to get the exit of the corner a lot, just the way I normally do. Kept the foot in it, never lifted. And it wasn't until I was a little bit too late that I realised, oh no, I'm going towards the wall. And I couldn't do anything to stop it.
Did it give you much damage throughout the race there? Because it looked like it kind of looked like it played on you a little bit, but nothing too major.
No, I didn't. The damage wasn't really all that noticeable. I did manage to pick up a rear right flat in the second chicane, so I did. But that was a slow puncture. It didn't really affect me all that much. But the damage overall wasn't all that bad.
You said Brands actually don't get on with it, but how are you getting on with the Nissan at the moment?
I'm getting on better than I thought I would have, considering that, like you were saying during the race, that I'm more used to the PC, tire model and everything they updated. So, when it comes to that, I'm actually surprised that I'm getting on with it as well as I am.
Well, Eero, it's been an absolute pleasure. I did have a message off of Jay to say interview Ben. We can't get him in because of his settings on the PSN, so we'll have to sort that for next week. And we will speak with Ben next time out because we can't get him into the party at the moment due to his settings.
One of us needs to friend him.
Yeah, and it won't let me friend him at the moment, so it won't let me load up his profile. So that is a shame, but we will try and get Ben in, unless Jay's listening. And Jay can invite him into the party.
Jay left the party last week.
Right. So we will speak with Ben next week then. Either way, PN, final thoughts from yourself tonight?
Well, roll on Pro-Am and see if we can get the formation map right. Because at the moment it's 0-0 for Am.
Yeah, Am still yet to get it right. Driver of the day from yourself?
I'm going to go for the 666. Yes.
Yeah, fair enough. So your vote goes towards Emo Guy. Noza, did run out of fuel. Gary's off. Catch you later. Great drive from the Am drivers. Good win there for Ben Bath. Not a fan of Zolder to drive, but that was some exciting racing, says Micro J's. DJ Phil Kelly, my driver of the day. Antony Sitz, so many dumb mistakes from me today. I'm presuming that's Ant.
That is Ant. But as well as didn't give up.
He didn't give up. He carried on going. Kelly as well in the chat. Thank you for the nice comments. Guys, I'm going to give my driver of the day to Ben Bath. I love a brand new driver. I love a debut win. And I think he drove a great race to keep Emo Guy behind us, who's a bit of a veteran here at SimPlay Motorsport. The chat as well gave the vote to Ben Bath. But that is all we have time for. Guys, girls, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. We are so close to 500 subscribers. If you want more action, join myself and Benedict Varga in the chat tomorrow. 8 p.m. UK time for the pros who go around the same, the Pro-Ams who are going around the same circuit. PM Motorsport will be on track for that. 2 half-an-hour races, the reverse grid coming up as well. And don't forget, Pro Thursday night brought to you by Dan Davis and PN Motorsport. Who will be on that one? But we will see you next week for the amateur class. Brands Hatch, British soil, we're on home territory next week for the AMs at Brands Hatch, a tight, twisty circuit. The British roller coaster it's named as. Well, we could be in for one heck of a ride. Thank you all for tuning in and watching. We'll see you next time. Good night.
Right.
And we're clear.
Ah, I hate that track.
You're not the only one.
I heard what you were talking about when it came to the practice session. I was not sandbagging. I was not.
Yeah, I didn't think you had much. I don't think you've got ultimate outright pace, but I think your racecraft's just better.
Shutting down my stream.
Is what I said before we went on here. You've got better racecraft, but your one lap pace isn't as strong